The Kids Club educates and informs children between the ages of 3 and 9 about history through the Bible, as well as teaching children about safety and offering exercise instruction. Colby's Clubhouse educates and informs children between the ages of 6 and 12 about how to successfully deal with everyday situations and challenges using the principles of the Bible.
Kids 10 Commandments educates and informs children between the ages of 9 to 16 through animated Bible stories that promote important rules and character-building values for everyday lives. Greatest Heroes and Legends of the Bible educates and informs youth ages 10 to 16 through animated Bible stories that promote important character-building values.
Nest Family Animated Stories from the Bible educates and informs children ages 3 to 12 by teaching them essential spiritual values and character traits through captivating animated Bible stories and music.
The Reppies educates children between the ages of 3 and 10 on valuable life lessons as it explores the decision-making process of the important and sometimes difficult choices that children encounter.
Colby's Clubhouse educates and informs children between the ages of 6 through 12 about how to deal successfully with everyday situations and challenges using principles of the Bible.
The Dooley and Powell Show educates and informs children between the ages of 2 to 5 by combining music and dance with common life lessons and pro-social skills with practical Bible principles.
Becky's Barn educates and informs children between the ages of 3 through 10 by teaching values and principles through Bible stories.
Cherub Wings educates and informs children ages 3 to 7 by teaching practical living skills with important values through Bible stories and songs that children love. Davy and Goliath educates and informs children between the ages of 3 and 9 by teaching important life skills based on positive and practical Bible principles.
Buying House educates and informs children between the ages of 5 through 10 by teaching Bible stories that highlight the important character traits that children will need in life, such as courage, loyalty, friendship, and responsibility.
The Kids Club educates and informs children between the ages of 3 through 9 about history through the Bible, as well as teaching children about safety and offering exercise instruction.
The Filling Station educates and informs children between the ages of 3 and 8 by teaching about the value of honesty, making good choices, and obedience through real-life lessons based on Bible principles.
Gospel Bill educates and informs children between the ages of 5 through 12 by teaching positive social skills and self-awareness based on biblical principles.
The Knock Knock Show educates children ages 2 to 7 about their world, as well as teaching math, language, and basic problem-solving skills.
Quigley's Village educates and informs children between the ages of 2 through 7 by teaching important life skills based on positive and practical Bible principles.
Superbook educates and informs children between the ages of 5 through 10 by teaching Bible stories that highlight the important character traits that children will need in life, such as courage, loyalty, friendship, and responsibility.
Joy Junction educates and informs children between the ages of 8 through 12 by teaching Bible history and the development of social and moral values. Kids Like You educates and informs children between the ages of 6 through 12 by presenting challenging situations with solutions that develop character.
Bible Man educates and informs children between the ages of 5 to 12 by teaching lessons about morals, family values, integrity, and character through practical biblical principles.
Faithville educates and informs children between the ages of 4 through 16 about the value of teamwork and the importance of the individual within the community. Janice's Attic educates and informs children between the ages of 4 through 8 about nature, personal health, and the value of positive character qualities. Kids Against Crime educates and informs children between the ages of 5 through 12 by exploring the real-life crimes committed against and by youth and the penalties for those who commit these crimes.
Starts right now.
McGee and Me educates and informs children between the ages of 5 to 12 by teaching through practical life lessons about kindness, the value of honesty, making good choices, and trusting in God.
Miss Charity's Diner educates and informs children between the ages of 4 to 7 on valuable life lessons through examples of the varied and wonderful characteristics of God.
Island educates and informs children between the ages of 3 to 7 by teaching lessons through biblical principles to encourage children to become comfortable with who they are today and to believe in who they can become tomorrow. Retro News, a blast from the past, educates and informs children between the ages of 9 and 12 as they learn history through a virtual newsroom where teen journalists bring significant and interesting historic events to life. The Swamp Critters of Lost Lagoon educates and informs children between the ages of 3 and 12 through life-size puppets who teach kids about moral or social lessons such as respecting their environment, welcoming diversity, telling the truth, and overcoming fears.
Virtual Memory is a Bible trivia show that educates and informs children between the ages of 13 and 17 by affirming positive social skills through biblical facts and principles.
Gina D's Kids Club educates and informs children between the ages of 2 through 6 by teaching social, math, and reading skills in a fun-loving and positive way.
Gina D's.
BJ's Teddy Bear Club educates and informs children between the ages of 1 and 5 by teaching kids about colors, letters, and numbers through a lovable animated teddy bear who takes children on an unforgettable journey through the Bible. Children's Heroes of the Bible educates and informs children between the ages of 3 to 8 through animated Bible stories that promote important character-building values.
The Funny Company educates and informs children ages 3 to 9 about themselves and the world at the Funny Company's Animated Kids Corporation, where kids learn valuable real-life lessons about jobs and earning money, as well as character skills as a host of madcap villains and scoundrels attempt to foil the success of the Funny Company's young entrepreneurs.
Imagine Land informs children between the ages of 3 to 10 by teaching basic multicultural and diverse society with engaging characters, stories, and music using real-life situations. Puppet Parade educates and informs children between the ages of 3 to 9 by teaching children lessons about morals, family values, and character through practical principles with lovable puppets and songs.
My Bedbugs educates and informs children ages 1 to 8 by teaching basic ethical values for living in today's multicultural and diverse society with engaging characters, stories, and music, and immerses children in real-life situations supporting language arts development, respect for individuality, and appreciation for music and visual arts. Creations Creatures educates and informs children between the ages of 4 to 11 by teaching young people Bible verses and about animals around the world through the adventures of two hosts as they explore wildlife in its natural habitat, wildlife sanctuary, animal hospitals, zoos, and aquariums to understand the habitat, behaviors, and diets, along with how to spell many of the animals' names. Dr. Wonder's Workshop educates and informs children between the ages of 4 to 9 by teaching young people a new language, the American Sign Language, and a new culture, the deaf culture, and key values and principles for character building through drama, original songs, Bible stories, and more. Friends and Heroes educates and informs children ages 6 to 10 through historically researched animated adventure and Bible stories that promote the importance of good character and morality. Sing Along with Gina D educates and informs children between the ages of 2 to 6 by teaching social, math, and reading skills through inspirational and educational music in a fun, loving, and positive way. Mary Rice Hopkins and Puppets with a Heart educates and informs children between the ages of 3 to 12 by combining music and puppetry that teaches children different Christian-based life principles like making good choices and good character, being yourself, forgiveness, self-esteem, serving with our talents and values. Arnie Shack educates and informs children between the ages of 2 to 12 by teaching positive Christian values, such as honesty and obedience, in a fun and interactive way through a variety of segments, including puppet dramas, catchy sing-along songs, and more. Auto Be Good educates and informs children between the ages of 3 to 8. It teaches children character education on honesty, kindness, respect, obedience, self-control, and more through 9 main vehicles, each with his or her own unique personality. God Rocks educates and informs children between the ages of 4 to 10 about important life lessons from the Bible in a fun way through animation and music. The Big Garage educates and informs children 3 to 7 through carefully constructed stories how to build self-esteem, form relationships, and solve problems. The protection of the environment is especially important as a part of the community living in the Big Garage. Bug Time Adventures educates and informs children between the ages of 4 to 9 about important Judeo-Christian values of forgiveness and acceptance of others, courage and faithfulness in times of trouble, and humility and cooperation when working with others. The Charlie Church Mouse Show educates and informs children between the ages of 3 to 7 by teaching them life lessons on sharing, thankfulness, and more, as well as by teaching them academic lessons vital to early childhood development. Chubby Cubbies educates and informs children ages 2 to 7 about kindness, patience, sharing, caring, obedience, and prayer, and is dedicated to providing a quality program that acts as an interactive tool for learning. Grandfather Reads educates and informs children between the ages of 2 to 6 by teaching them the value of reading through heartwarming bedtime stories that turn into informative field trips, discovering the wonderful world of books. Youngsters visit national landmarks, and they also learn life lessons, such as dealing with anger, following your dreams, and showing kindness toward others. Understand and love one another. Story Keepers educates and informs children between the ages of 4 to 8 by teaching them positive values such as trust, faith, and cooperation, which are learned through animated adventures from biblical stories. The Upstairs Downstairs Bears educates and informs children ages 2 to 6 about fundamental principles of sharing, caring, and respecting your neighbors and friends through fun and adventure-filled episodes. World of Jonathan Singh educates and informs children between the ages of 4 to 11 by featuring fun topics, including games from around the world, crafts, geography, health, science, and interesting animal behavior. Sarah's Stories educates and informs children ages 4 to 11 through stories read to children that promote values like respect, kindness, and serving God based on biblical principles.